Hi, I'm Danny Ecker with your Chicago Business Today Midday Report. The number of Chicago area homes that are underwater rose at the end of 2012, bucking the trend shown by recent data that the local residential market is on the path to recovery. Research firm CoreLogic reports that more than 33% of area homes were worth less than their debt in the fourth quarter, up from 29.6% in the third quarter. The national rate, meanwhile, actually dropped by half a percentage point to 21.5% during that time period. And joining me with some perspective on the data is our Albie Galoon. Albie, first of all, why is it that this number is significant in terms of the numbers of underwater homes?
Well, people pay attention to this number because if you owe more on your home than it's worth, you're more likely to default on your mortgage. Now, if you owe more on your home than it's worth and your financial circumstances are fine and you want to stay there for a long time, chances are you won't default on your mortgage, but the probability is higher. Secondly, it's also significant because if you don't have any equity in your house, you feel less wealthy and you're less likely to spend money on other things. So there's kind of a broader economic impact here too.
Right. Now, obviously, these numbers are from CoreLogic. The Case-Shiller numbers recently shown that home prices are up last year. Number of home sales up last year. There's a little bit of a conflict of what's being reported. What do we make of that?
Well, I would say that probably most of the data that we're seeing these days is positive, suggesting that we're in a recovery, in the early stages of recovery. And I think at any time in the cycle where the market is changing, you're going to have some data suggesting that maybe it's worse than we think it is. And that may be going on here. This data is largely based on the change in home prices because people's mortgages don't really change that much or significantly. So when home prices fall, more people are going to be underwater. So this suggests that home prices are continuing to fall. But there are other price indexes out there like the Case-Shiller index that rose last year. So it's kind of confusing, but I would have to say that we're still on the path to recovery.
And it's important to keep in mind, obviously, that all real estate is local, and that there's different pockets of the Chicago area that are doing better or worse than others. But overall, I mean, obviously, you kind of feel that way. But are experts mostly saying they went into with a lot of optimism into 2013, still kind of feeling that road to recovery in the real estate market is still happening?
Yeah, I think so, but there are also still a lot of problems out there. We've got a lot of foreclosures, and that problem hasn't really been addressed, and there's a lot of concern that we're going to have more distressed property coming on the market, and that's going to drag prices down further. So we'll see. Time will tell.
Okay, Albie, thanks for the time.
Thank you.